Good morning. It is Wednesday, May 25th. We have finished week 3 and handed in our first assignments and are about to begin week 4, although I notice that some of you have been way ahead of me. I think that's okay, but don't let yourself get too far ahead or you'll find that it's awkward to talk in the discussions because your head's already into another realm. Last week's video, I just wanted to tell you that I was deeply under the influence of prescription medications last Wednesday. And if I said anything stupid during the week, I have a good excuse, but today I am totally drug-free. I had not had minor surgery in decades and decades, and this was a bone spur on my foot, which was chiseled off with a chisel and a hammer and an electric saw while I had a spinal anesthetic. It was actually an incredibly interesting experience, and I don't want to play down the risks of spinals because I do think that was the major issue that I had with the whole idea. I put off having this surgery for 10 years, but the way they are able to treat pain nowadays, my gosh, I can't believe it. I had the stitches out yesterday. I was talking to the orthopedic surgeon and I said, I did not feel one bit of pain at all, ever. No throbbing, no swelling. I could even slap the incision line and I couldn't make it hurt. He says I'm a little bit unusual. So don't go by whatever I say, but I am kidding you not. I had less pain coming out of the anesthesia than I had in the foot before I had the surgery. And the stitches are out. I'm walking around, and I actually got my normal shoe on this morning without any problem, and that's 7 days. Wow. So, enough about my foot. The next thing I wanted to let you know in relation to this week is that I'm going to be traveling this week. It may not interfere at all with the amount that I'm online and reading your comments, but then again, it may. We're going to be driving 1,000 miles tomorrow, leaving at 7 in the morning, getting in at midnight. But we are a mobile enterprise here, and I have mobile broadband for the laptop, or actually we'll use a netbook in the car, and I can actually be online while we're driving. So the problem, though, is that I can't really see the screen well enough during the day unless we make the car totally dark, and that's not good for the driver. So I'm hoping that once it gets darker out in the evening, I'll be able to go online and read your comments tomorrow night if there's much to read. And of course the big issue for all of you is the papers and grading the papers. I have them all downloaded to my desktop, and I'm fully expecting that you will get your grades back by this time next week, and that when I talk to you next Wednesday morning, I'll have lots of interesting things to say about the papers. What I have done is that when I downloaded them, I scanned through every one of them. I read a little piece of them, I looked at the topic, I looked at the way they were laid out, and I have to say that I did not find anything there that sent me, the big signal, uh-oh, this person's going to have a problem. So you can all relax. I don't see anything there that can't be rectified with a little bit of feedback and maybe doing things a little bit differently the next time. There may be some issues there of logic. I haven't gotten into them enough to see if your logic flows from A to B to C. But I also saw a couple of interesting ideas and presentations, which gives me hope that I'll find them interesting to read. So thank you. What else should I tell you this week? It's our last week of this history, and then we're going to go on to the present day. And I did hear from last term's group, who were the first ones into this course, that they found it somewhat abrupt to go from the history to present day. I don't know why that would be, because obviously we've started early and we're moving through the years up to today. But I just give you that as a little bit of a heads up. And I guess my other heads up is to start to, by the end of this week, you should start to think about your assignment number 2. I think you've probably figured out already that it's good to have your ideas and your readings and let it sit for a little while. Let it mull around, because It's when you're off jogging or at your yoga class or in the shower that you have those aha moments of, oh, you know what? That's what they meant here. Or, oh, you know what? If I did A and B, that might work really better. But you can't do that if you've left it to the very last minute, because then you're just scrambling. I know you know this. I shouldn't be preaching at you. Now, there was one other thing I was going to say about the papers, and it has flown out of my head, so if I think about it, I'll put it in a posting. But have a good week. Oh, I know what it was. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that people were posting their abstracts before we actually got into week 4 and before everybody had submitted their assignments. I think that could have caused some anxiety for people who were scrambling at the last minute to do something, and then they read something quite interesting or exciting in the abstract and thought, oh my God, I didn't do it good enough. I'm sorry if my setting it up that way led to anyone having any angst. On the other hand, if you had, you know, that little faith in your paper, maybe you deserved a little angst. So I didn't expect them to be posted before the week started, which was this week, but that's neither here nor there now. Can't cry over spilt milk, right? So that's all I'm saying today. Bye. See you next Wednesday.